Another quick update video about my high point 10mm giant old yeet Canon. Again, this is the sheath I got. I've been making knives. This is the holster I got. 24 bucks. Extra magazine. There's snap caps for dry firing. I got 10 of those. Comes in handy. Took it to the range. Got to work this in, get it easier in and out. Took it to the range. Put about 90 rounds through it. Second time I've taken it out there. So this is just a general update. The first thing, this go plant. Shot it about 5 times and this sucker took off, which was disconcerting. I thought, oh crap, that's not going to work. Put it back on. Where are you? Snugged this down about a quarter turn. Went to another 50 or so shots. Never had a problem with it. Worked great. Another issue I had with this, I noticed a faint little double laser. The main beam was where it needed to be, but there's a little bitty one a couple inches below it at the distance I was looking at it with. After it got knocked off and I put it back on, that went away. So it might have just been an adjustment issue. Now, the overall performance of this. I'll put some video of me and my son shooting this at the end of this video, and you can watch that. When I shot it, when I first took it out, I had a little bit of trouble with it. One jam. You could feel this lagging, the slide, and I had some feeds we had to tap it on the back to get it to fully close. Took it out this time, had one of those and one misfeed right off the bat. But I did notice the slide was easier to pull back, so I thought, well, maybe it just needs to be worked in a little bit. They happened within the first 5 shots. After that, I didn't have any problem with this. It ran smooth. Probably on the second magazine, I had it lag a little bit, just a little bit once. But other than that, and you'll see in the video, it shot just fine. I was really impressed with it. Now, some people will say, oh, you don't need to break them in. When Glock first came out, I bought a Glock, I think it was a 17. They're a longer slide. And I was advised to put 250 rounds through that weapon to break it in. And there's still weapons today that run better after a couple hundred rounds than they do fresh out of the box. I've got no problem with this. It's heavy, which a lot of people complain about. Drives me crazy. If you're having trouble with the weight of a weapon, that's, you know, granted this is on the far heavy spectrum, but I know people that complain about carrying a lot of rounds. And if you're having that problem, maybe instead of going to the range, you need to go to a doctor. I've just never had a problem with weight the way I hear people complain about it today. And you know, it sounds bad, but it's like, man up on this stuff, guys, girls. Women, I can understand on the heavier, bigger weapons, because and men, some men that's got smaller hands, that's going to be a problem. For me, this is not a problem. The weight's not a problem. As I stated before, I was on a rifle team, 22, heavy rifle. My friends would say, well, would you take that hunting? No, I don't want to be walking out in the field all day long with a heavy rifle. So I got a lighter 22 for hunting. This is going to be on a chest holster or a leg holster. And the weight's not a problem for me. It's like 3 pounds. Big deal. I carry a lot of other stuff that weighs more than that. But I do like the reliability that I'm hearing about these, and in my experience with this one, now that less than 150 rounds, and this thing's working great now with no problems. I'm going to have to shoot it more and more to see if that keeps up, but right now I don't have a problem with it. So it's shooting good. I like the weight. It helps me shoot better. And I'll show you here in a minute. Used to shoot a lot of pistols, a lot of rifle. Haven't done that in decades. It's been a long time. Picked this up because I needed something more powerful. Stated that in the other videos. And I have a Glock 19. There's not a lot of difference in recoil. This is a little bit more, but not much. But it's a softer recoil. It's easier to get the sights back on target with this than my Glock. That might just be me, but for me, I like shooting this a lot better than other 9mm or at 9mm period, or the ones I've shot. And this is in a more powerful round. Yes, it only has 10 rounds in the magazine. I hear people complain about that, and some of those people are carrying 1911s on their hip with 7 rounds. Stop complaining about it if you're carrying a weapon that has 10 or less rounds. I like the way it looks. Don't care what you think. To each his own. I like having a manual safety. It's just me. It's a quirk. This is coming real handy. When you get one of these, understand what you're getting it for. It's not a long-term walk around the woods flashlight. You're going to be using it usually in an emergency. One of the features that I liked about it that I don't use, it's on, it's off. Well, it's on, I see something, I got to pull the trigger, it's off. So I click it on, click it off. Click it on, click it off. So if it's on and I got to pull the trigger, that's not going to be a problem. Shooting at 7 yards, broad daylight in Texas at around noon, I could see the laser on a black silhouette target. This has got a really good visibility on the laser, even during the day. Now, I like shooting it. I like the way it handles. I like the way it feels. Oh, sorry. Like I said, we're shooting at close range. That is at me shooting, acquiring the target again and shooting again. Not spending all day aiming. And I did that. Now for me, since I've been shooting in decades, I'm real happy with that. I shoot just a few more times and I'm going to bring that into a closer grouping. And then I'm going to start kicking my range out. But like I said, it's easy shooting, accurate. This is me. I've seen other people, and if I take my time, I can get them in a lot tighter group. The weapon is, the high point 10mm is extremely accurate. And it's, for me, it's easier to hit on target because of the weight. It's just kind of muffles any movement that I might be making involuntarily. But I thought I would tell you about the update. Again, at the end of the video, my son shoots it and I shoot it. Full magazine, through it, no problems, works great. Really glad I got this weapon. I'm thinking about looking at the 12 round capacity yeet Canon, the new one, when it comes out. I'm also thinking of picking up one of the older ones, because when the new one comes out, the 10 shots are going to be real cheap. And the reliability on these so far, this one has been really good. I'm going to use it as, when I travel, I'll carry it. Some knucklehead Yoko Loco confiscates it or wants to get nasty about it, I'm not out $500–600. One more thing. I know I said it was going to be quick. Let me get this over here. Now, excuse me. I've heard people say horrible trigger pull. They're saying horrible, abominable, useless, unforgivable, yada, 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 yada. I have no clue where they're coming from on this. I've talked to other people with these, seen some videos, and usually when the guy shoots these and says, oh, it's just a horrendous trigger, they hate these from the get-go. This is a good trigger pull. It's comparable to other weapons I've got. It's different, but not that much different. I like it because if you've got a brake trigger, which I never used on my target rifle, you're expecting that brake, and then you push through it and pop the round down range. That can be problematic for some people. This one, you acquire the target and then you just pull back at a nice steady rate, not real slow, medium speed, and it's like boom, 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 and the trigger's fine, and you can hit on target with no problem. I don't have a problem with that trigger pull. I actually like that trigger pull. I'm a little bit used to it in some older weapons. My pellet guns, most of them have a brake in those, and I really kind of wish they didn't. The rifles didn't have that brake. I can get used to it. My 22 pistol, pellet rifle pistol has it. I can shoot them either way. I somewhat prefer this trigger pull over the ones with the brake, and the reason is because I have a couple weapons and they all have different distances they break on. So I kind of got to remember what I'm shooting. With this, I don't. You just acquire the target, pull it back, bullet goes off, round goes off, goes down range. That's simple. Don't have to worry about it. But anyway, that was my update. Like I said, there's video on the back end of this video of me and my son shooting it. You can watch that. Like I said, it's not a lot of recoil, but if you're looking for a 10mm and recoil isn't your thing, I would recommend this. I would highly recommend this. If you're using it for defense, I'm using it for a field gun. 10 rounds would do me. 2 magazines, I'll be fine with that. I don't have a big need for multiple rounds. I have a big need for stopping power. But that's, you know, an individual's decision on what they want and what they're looking for. But anyway, let me wrap this up. Recommend buying it. Really impressed with it. When I bought it, I knew there was going to be some issues with it, and there was a lot less than what I thought. Did a little bit of sanding on the grips to smooth it out. No problem. Took me just a few minutes to do that. If you get one of these, you may have a little bit of difficulty at first. Run some rounds. It likes hotter rounds. It likes plus P rounds. You'll probably find that most issues you'll have will be target loads. I would recommend, if you can afford it, get some hot rounds and run, you know, a box of them through it first to loosen it up, and then you can drop down to target loads and see how it handles that. But anyway, definitely worth the money. I've got Tauruses, I've got a Glock, I've got a car pocket pistol or compact, I got a Caltech. I would rate this as good as those. As a matter of fact, this is right now one of my better operating weapons. So wouldn't worry about the reliability on these. There's plenty of videos out there that show they're actually really good. My trigger pull on this is well within manageable area. It's not abysmal. It's good. I like it. I don't know what and it's not 6 pounds like everyone's claiming it's over 6 pounds. If it is, it's a magic 6 because it sure don't feel like it. But anyway, like I said, recommend it. Good weapon. Should be reliable. It looks to be that way, but again, I can't tell you how reliable this one's going to be until I've had it for a while and put a bunch of rounds through it. But so far, it's been doing great. So that's the update, and thanks for watching the video. Yep. You think I got him?